I got invited to play in one of the most stacked VGC draft leagues of all time. I'll be up against titans of the game like NAIC champion Federico Camporese, 3-time regional champions Michael Kelch and Justin Tang, and single battles legend Pokeaim, fighting over 10 weeks for a cash prize and ultimate bragging rights. Welcome to the MDBL.
How is it going, everyone? Welcome to the grand finals of the MDBL. We've gone through 9 rounds of matches so far, 5 group stage matches in Phase 1, 3 group stage matches in Phase 2, and 1 semi-final match, and now it is the final match of the season, me versus Justin Tang for the first place crown. So Justin and I did play in the second phase, and I won that one 2-0. I did get a little bit of good fortune in the second game in particular, but my draft has changed a little bit since then. His kind of hasn't. So let's have a quick look at what he has got available to him. As you can see here, he has got a draft that is incredibly similar to last time we played him. The only changes are he had a Dugtrio and I want to say a Duocean in the last slot, which got traded out for a Zebstrika and a Fletchling. Fundamentally, that doesn't really change anything about this matchup. I will be so surprised if either of those Pokemon come to this match. At the core of it, I'm effectively playing against the same team. I've had a bit of a change that I think is more impactful to the matchup. I think just in general, I've built a draft where all of my Pokemon can be impactful. At some point, you have to kind of consider all of them, but the main one is that I've picked up Sandy Shocks. I've gotten rid of Brute Bonnet, which was useless here, and Frostlass, which was also useless here, unfortunately. But the Sandy Shocks is the main pickup here. I will be using that this week. I've got some pretty interesting technology on Sandy Shocks this week, so I would strongly recommend sticking around and seeing if that plays out. So Justin has got that same team we've seen before with the Side Spam core of Indeedee Sneasler, the fast offense core of Iron Bundle and Chiyu, and then strong, bulky defensive options in Tyranitar and Corviknight. They can obviously both play offense, and same with Ogerpon as well. Can be a very versatile Pokemon when it comes to how you build it. So as before, his pieces are very strong, but his pieces kind of work in pairs. You're very unlikely to see Sneasler without Indeedee. I think you're unlikely to see Chiyu without Iron Bundle. Tyranitar and Ogerpon are a bit more flexible. I'm not expecting to see Corviknight this week, because he didn't bring it against me the first time, and now I have a Sandy Shock, so it's even worse into me. So I'm expecting the same 6 that I saw against him in Phase 2, that being Indeedee Sneasler, Chiyu Iron Bundle, and Tyranitar Ogerpon. But I imagine he is going to adapt a little bit, and I have adapted a bit as well. So since we've seen this draft before, I don't think it needs too much introduction. Let's jump right into what I will be bringing for this week. So I've got a few Pokemon this time around that are the same as I brought last time, like pretty much identical with maybe a couple of tweaks here and there. And then a few of them are going to be operating quite differently, even though the 6 is very similar. So the only change in terms of Pokemon from last time is that Armarouge is now Sandy Shocks, but a lot of these Pokemon are going to be functioning reasonably differently. The first of these Pokemon that hasn't really changed is going to be Torkoal, pretty much exactly the same as before. It's Terra Dark, bulky eject pack with overheat body press, helping hand. The one difference is Yawn is now Protect. So in my previous match against Justin, I felt like the Yawn that I had in that slot wasn't really getting any value, just because both teams are playing so aggressively, there's not really enough time for Yawn to take that much effect. So I instead opted for Protect. It just lets me keep Torkoal alive a bit longer, because it's a Pokemon that does require focus. So Torkoal can obviously fire off Sun-boosted Overheat, so it's something you can't really just ignore. And Protect lets you punish if your opponent goes for an attack into it or doubles into it, for example. You can catch them out on that. I also didn't have it last time we played, so Justin may suspect that I don't have it this time. I can maybe use that to my advantage. But otherwise, it's very much the same. The principle is I have a jetpack, so if I launch an Overheat or if I get hit by an Icy Wind or a Snarl or something like that, and my stats get dropped, I will switch out and I can bring it back in later, which helps me maintain weather control. And also, my team this time around is built very offensively, so having the ability to pivot in my squishier pieces for free is very nice, because Torkoal's very slow. It's oftentimes going to be moving last. I can Overheat after everything else has already moved, get my next thing in, have Torkoal on the back to switch in Sun, that kind of stuff. I was considering going for a different set. I did have Flare Blitz on this for a bit, just to punish Psychic Seed Sneasler, but I ended up deciding the Eject Pack set was probably best, just because the ability to pivot, especially if I'm going for like a Tailwind mode, if I can pivot out on the turn Tailwind goes up, get 3 turns of Tailwind with something else faster on the field, that's a lot of value. And also I've developed different lines into the Chiyu Iron Bundle stuff that would otherwise try and force my Torkoal off the field before I want it to. The next of the 2 Pokemon that is pretty much identical is Gallade. I've gone same EV spread. I've also gone Room Service, so same as before, it's faster than Tyranitar if Trick Room isn't up, and if Trick Room is up, it's slower than Tyranitar, so it moves first anyway, which is fun. I've gone Terra Fire this time around just because, having taken off the Armarouge, I make myself a little bit weaker to Ogerpon, so having a Grass Resist here is handy on my Gallade, just so it's not a sitting duck. So it's Terra Rock last time, and that feels like a bit of a free swing for Ogerpon. The other change is Wide Guard has now become Trick Room, so I don't have Armarouge with me this time around, so Gallade is going to be my Trick Room setter if I'm setting Trick Room, maybe Indeedee potentially, but if I'm being honest, Indeedee is more of a scare tactic than anything else in this matchup. Most of my lines in testing didn't involve it. And then speaking of Indeedee, again, very minor changes here. I had a Colberberry on it last time to try and survive hits from Chiyu, but I think Psychic Seed just gets me more value in general. Colberberry did mean that there was not a single Chiyu Dark Pulse in the world that could KO my Indeedee, which was nice. This time around with Psychic Seed, there are some like high rolls on Life Orb that can get me, for example. But I felt like that was a worthwhile trade-off given all the other special attackers with Iron Bundle, Indeedee, Chiyu clicking a move that isn't a dark move. You get a lot more value out of Indeedee with Psychic Seed than you do with Colberberry. And I've gone Terra Dragon because, again, similar thing. I wanted to resist Ogerpon. I was Terra Fire last time, but that leaves me a little bit weak to T-Tar if I'm trying to like get a Trick Room up with Indeedee, for example. And now onto the quote-unquote new stuff. It's Walking Wake, it's pretty much exactly the same, except it's got a Life Orb this time, instead of the Assault Vest I had last time, so it's a lot more offensive. The Assault Vest never really came into play, and I kind of missed having Protect on this in the last set, so I've just gone for a Life Orb set this time, because it's not being used up by anything else, whereas last time I had it on Armor Rouge. So this Walking Wake does get a speed boost in Sun, thanks to Photosynthesis. And what that means is that if I get any kind of speed control up, so if I get Tailwind, for example, I will be able to outspeed Sneasler with its Unburden boost. I'll outspeed potential Scarf Indeedee, Scarf Chiyu as well. I could have gone for a special attack booster, but I didn't feel like it was that worth it. And being slower than Ogerpon, even if I've got Sun up, doesn't feel that great. Because Ogerpon is going to be a real target, I think, for me this time around. Justin said in his previous video, I think, that he was considering, if he played again, running Ockerberry, or he said he regretted not running Ockerberry on the Ogerpon, which does make this matchup a fair bit harder for me, because I can't just hit it with a Torkoal Overheat or a Walking Away Flamethrower and call it a day. So I think having the ability to outspeed that 100% of the time, if I have my Sun up, is pretty valuable. Terrafire Flamethrower also doing big damage. Again, if it's Ockerberry, that gets a little bit awkward. I can go for Helping and Draco Meteor, for example, which also works. But yeah, not a huge amount to say about the Walking Weight set. Where it starts getting really different from last time is the Roaring Moon set. So my Roaring Moon set last time, it worked, but it didn't feel amazing. Attack Booster Dragon Claw was fun, but not ultimately that impactful. So this time around, I've kind of gone completely the opposite direction, where I've still got big damage, still got loaded dice Scale Shot, something I haven't used on Roaring Moon so far this season, I don't think. This is the first time I'm using this. And I'm running it with an EV spread that boosts my speed if Torkoal's on the field. So what that means is that after a Scale Shot, I'll now be outspeeding Booster Energy Iron Bundle, I'll be outspeeding Unburdened Sneasler, for example. And those are pretty big targets. It also means that even without a Scale Shot, I will, if Sun's up, for example, outspeed a Chiyu after an Icy Wind, which is nice, because I think there are going to be a lot of situations where I'm trying to contest with Chiyu Iron Bundle leads, for example. Or there could be situations where I get a Scale Shot off, I have my Speed Booster up, I'm faster than Iron Bundle, I want to get a Tailwind up so my next Pokemon can move faster, or something like that. I think the Speed Booster is going to be pretty valuable here. The other main reason is I think an adaptation that Justin very well might make here is that he really might go for Jolly on his Ogerpon this time round. So I was running, as I mentioned, Attack Booster Roaring Moon last time, but said Attack Booster Roaring Moon was slower than Max Speed Jolly Ogerpon. So I think if Justin wants to try and cover for that again, then there's a very real chance that he will go for Jolly Ogerpon, which I would always be slower than. The fact that my Photosynthesis gives me a speed boost is nice, but it's mostly the fact that I now just outspeed Ogerpon normally. Right, even without my Sun up, I'll just be outspeeding Ogerpon, which I found in testing was very valuable for a lot of endgame situations where I'd have, like, Roaring Moon Gallade in the back, and I'd really want to get a Tailwind up because that would guarantee me a win, but then I'd not be able to because my opponent's got T-Tar on the field, they've gotten rid of my Sun, and now the Ogerpon's faster than me and can play rough, for example. So I could have gone Attack Booster anyway, by just bumping a few more points into attack, but I thought the speed boost seemed pretty nice, especially in combination with Scale Shot, just to get the drop on Iron Bundle. And last up, probably the most fun part of this team, is my Sandy Shocks technology. Big shout-outs to Ben Kiriakou, who I've been working with across the entirety of this Draft League season, for coming up with what initially seemed like kind of a silly idea, but actually, upon thinking it through and testing it a bit, kind of seems good. And that is Choice Scarf Speed Booster Sandy Shocks, which sounds insane, because why are you running Choice Scarf Speed Booster? That's crazy. But it actually has some real value. The main thing is, as I kind of mentioned with Roaring Moon and its Speed Booster plus Scale Shot, this will outspeed Unburdened Sneasler or Booster Energy Iron Bundle if the Sun's up. And that leads to situations where, for example, one of my game plans into this is I lead Sandy Shocks Roaring Moon, into Iron Bundle Chi-Yu, and Iron Bundle is looking like it's having a field day. Oh boy, howdy, look, there's 2 ice weaknesses, let me punish the ice weaknesses with my ice moves. But then I switch into Torkoal, and my Sandy Shocks is now, because it's Scarf Speed Booster, faster than Iron Bundle. I Volt Switch off the Iron Bundle to KO that. I bring my Roaring Moon in. The Dark Pulse that's aimed at my Sandy Shocks now hits my Roaring Moon, doesn't do very much damage. Iron Bundle's gone, I start a Pokemon up. Mwah. Wonderful game plan. Seems really fun. It'll work exactly once. That exact line will not work more than once, because once Justin discovers that it's Scarf, that kind of loses the surprise factor. Oh, I forgot to mention this earlier. I'm also Terra Psychic on Roaring Moon because Indeedee Sneasler is annoying. That's the whole reason it's Terra Psychic. It's kind of bad into the rest of the team, but it's really good into Indeedee Sneasler. But yeah, so the principle there is I get Sun Up, and now I'm outspeeding everything, and it's funny. And with Speed Boost Roaring Moon as well, I have options like I can Electro Web Iron Bundle, and now my Speed Boost Roaring Moon is faster than the Iron Bundle after I've Electro Webbed it. A situation that requires a lot of things to have gone correctly for me to be in, because I need Sun Up and Sandy Shocks and Roaring Moon on the field. But that's very possible with the Jetpack Torkoal, where I get my Sun Up, I leave immediately, now I have Sandy Shocks and Roaring Moon in. And then Earth Power is just a hit stuff like T-Tar and Chi-Yu for reasonable damage. You don't actually get the one-shot on either of them. You don't get the one-shot on Psychic Seed boosted Sneasler either, which is a little bit annoying. But I've got Helping Hand on a couple of ones, so I can Helping Hand Earth Power to get KOs in spots like that. Earth Power is also just good, consistent damage. And in the last lot, I am Terra Bug, Terra Blast. Terra Bug is awful defensive typing into this. Like, maybe you could excuse it as I wanted to resist Ogerpon's grass moves that would otherwise KO me without being weak to Sneasler and Indeedee. So like it gives me fighting resist and grass resist. And so I could be Flying Blast for that, for example, but then Iron Bundle's a problem. So like maybe Justin will look at that and go, okay, it makes sense defensively because it resists Ogerpon's grass moves, it resists Sneasler's fighting moves, and it doesn't make you weak to Iron Bundle, which I think makes a lot of sense, but it's mostly there because Terra Blast is funny. So, as Justin mentioned, Ockerberry is a very real threat on Ogerpon. So, scarf myself into a Bug-type Terra Blast. Helping Hand Terra Blast will pick up Ogerpon if I Terrastallize, and Ogerpon obviously cannot Terra out of that weakness because it has to be Terra Grass. That's how Ogerpon works. It also allows me to one-shot Indeedee, which is fun, because Choice Scarf, Sandy Shocks will always outspeed every version of Indeedee ever, and then I can just one-shot it with a Terra Bug, Terra Blast. They could well be Scarf Indeedee this time around, just because, again, I was running Attack Boost to Roaring Moon last time, so they could target that speed tier a bit harder. Oh, it's another thing I forgot to mention with Scale Shot on Roaring Moon is killing Indeedee through Sash and just blasting Chi-Yu. But yeah, Sandy Shocks Terra Bug hits Indeedee, hits Ogerpon, hits T-Toff, super effective, which doesn't really mean much if Sand's up and it's got an Assault Vest. But all in all, I think it's a pretty reasonable type for me to lock into. I didn't really have any use for any other moves on that slot, because if I'm hitting Iron Bundle with an electric move, Volt Switch is more than enough to kill it, and if I am hitting it with anything else, then Earth Power's stronger. So T-Bolt was not really providing me any value, I do not think. But yeah, that's the team. The hope is that at one point, at least, I get to reveal my funny Sandy Shocks technology. I'm expecting to see Chi-Yu Bundle Game 1, so if we do see Chi-Yu Bundle Game 1, I am just switching my Torkoal and Volt Switching off the Iron Bundle, and there is nothing you can do to stop me. It's also not impossible that Justin goes for Scarf Chi-Yu, because that would enable that play super hard. Like, if they go turn 1 Icy Wind Heat Wave, and they are Scarf Chi-Yu, then there's no way that Sandy Shocks would ever be able to get around that normally, but not my Sandy Shocks. My Sandy Shocks is built different. So yeah, that is my funny technology. Hopefully it pays off at some point, but there is only one way to find out, and that is to jump into the battles. Okay, Indeedee is Fairy, sure. That makes sense. Choose Fairy, T-Toss Fairy. Fine. Sneeze is Rock. This is exactly the 6 I was expecting. Ogerpon is Grass, because obviously... Sorry, I realize I spend a lot of these videos looking down, but I'm taking notes. I mean, I think I just send the thing that I was prepping for. It's Terra Water Bundle, which kind of opens this up a little bit. So I think I just send the stuff that I practiced. I'll do that in a sec. Let me just continue writing notes. And then T-Tar is Fairy, which I'm guessing is probably still going to be AV Fairy Blast. Right, let's go again. Finals time. Lock in. Can we goop him turn 1? This is the question. Can we just goop this guy immediately? I'm wary of stuff like Terra Blast on Chi-Yu. I think is an adaptation that he could well make, because Roaring Moon was an irritation from last time. Sneasler Chi-Yu. That's not what I was expecting. Okay. This does threaten to reveal my Scarf. This threatens to reveal my Scarf. This is something I need to be wary of. Can I just double the Chiyu turn 1? That feels so greedy. I could Terra Psychic double the Chiyu. I kind of don't hate. I could also just protect and Volt. Wait, no, I'll go faster than Chiyu if I'm... I protect and Volt switch off the Chiyu. There's the Terra on Chiyu, I'm guessing. Okay. Chiyu lead in game 1. And it went for a Terra. I was so tempted to just fucking Ironhead that slot. Wouldn't have lit. Ironhead is there, like, specifically to catch Terra Fairies. There's Volt. And this is just Talk, right? I don't think there's any reason for it to not be Talk. I will reveal that I'm Speed Booster. Which is a shame, but I can punish Chiyu here. Next turn. I wonder if they're Scarf Chiyu. It's very possible. Ooh, Taunt Sneasler. Interesting. Okay. Here's Heat Wave. That looks like Specs damage to me. That looks pretty bespectacled, in my humble opinion. Let me double check this. There's no way that's not Specs, right? How much damage? Yeah, that's 100% Specs. Okay, so I can't Ironhead this now. Do I Terra Psychic here? I think I do. I think I Terra Psychic Ironhead, and I need to keep my token on the back so that my Sandy Shocks outspeeds bundle later. I think I just sack Gallade here, to be honest. Not sack, but I think I just put Gallade on the field. Oh, I'll go Shocks. Because Chiyu's going to die here. Good to know that that's Specs. That's very good to know that's Specs. Okay. No switch from my opponent, so this is a dead Chiyu. I realign ahead, but that's fine. I get rid of Chiyu. Okay. So I could have gone for the overheat there, but that's fine. They forced my Terror, which is a bit annoying. Who's in the back? This is interesting now. I think do I just Tailwind? Is it Tailwind Volt? Is that correct? I could also Protect. Actually, I don't think I hate just going Scale Shot and Volt off the Ogerpon. Do I even need to Volt? I could Scale Shot that and just Earth Power the Sneasler. Seems kind of alright, to be honest. They just let me Earth Power Sneeze, okay. I reveal that I'm... No, I don't reveal I'm Scarf, because they've seen that on Speed Booster. That's Sash, okay. Interesting. Diflorite Tank. That makes Scale Shot so valuable here. That's bulky as shit. Okay, well. So much for needing to be Speed Booster. Okay, I'm going to die here. Oh, I don't die. That's nice. They are not very offensive. Okay, I think I just Tailwind for my back end, and then... How do I play this correctly? I feel like I want to keep Sandy Shocks alive. Okay, knowing Scale Shot into Sneasler is super good. I really wonder if they're not Protect then on Sneasler. I think think I saved my Sandy Shocks, right? Just go straight Gallade. I don't think they really punished this that hard. And if I get Tailwind up for free, then that's also a fine situation for me. Yeah, let's follow me, that's fine. I guess they're unburdened, aren't they? They're not unburdened, okay. Interesting. So they are Poison Touch. Which I think is interesting. Okay. I get my Tailwind up, I get Sandy Shocks in. Yeah. I Electroweb, and I Sacred. Any reason to do anything else? Not really. This is really interesting, because this means I don't really need my Proto Boosts to keep my stuff faster. Overone out, okay. Who's in? It is T-Tar, okay, that's just immediately cooked. That's fine. Now I reveal my Scarf. Yeah. Oh, Scarf Sandy Shocks, baby, let's go. I mean, that play makes a lot of sense if you don't think that I'm Scarf. Which, why the fuck would you think that I'm Scarf? And now Sacred will delete T-Tar from existence. Oh wait, no, you don't know I'm Scarf, because I have Tailwind up. Duh. Okay, in which case, no, I don't know what that play was. Okay. And now it's Ogerpon versus the world. Do I switch here? Is it optimal to switch here? I think I do, because I don't want to... Well, that's the problem, is if I switch, I reveal that I'm Scarf, right? If I stay in, I also kind of show that I'm Scarf. I think I should have enough in the tank just to beat this anyway, even if it's Citrus. Citrus is the thing I'm worried about, but they were saying last time they were kind of hoping they were Ochre, so I'm expecting not Citrus. Yeah, no Citrus, okay. Dead. That's game one. Right. Welcome to game one. No bundle game one is super interesting. Sneasler came game one, Chew came game one, T-Tar came game one. We didn't see anything about T-Tar. We saw that it died to a Sacred Sword, but I could have told you that before the match started. So that's not really new information. Chew, we only saw Heat Wave, we saw Dark Claw, Taunt, CC on Sneasler. We didn't see Protect, which is very interesting. Are they Fake Out? They're probably Fake Out then, are they? I wonder if that makes an Indeedee lead a bit more tempting for me. I wonder if that makes Indeedee lead a bit more tempting. Because Follow Me Scale Shot will just bin that, right? If they've got no Protect, I can just Follow Me Scale Shot that, and it just gets put in the bin directly. And immediately. And Moon just kind of sits in front of Chi if I do that. I guess I don't really care if it fakes me out turn 1 if I go for, like, Moon Shocks. Right? Do I care if they fake me out turn 1? Is the question. I could go Indeedee lead, it's really tempting. Like, Indeedee Moon seems kind of nice here based on what they've brought. But then who do I bring in the back? Do I leave Torkoal behind? Is that insane? I don't think it's that insane. I honestly think leaving Torkoal behind is really not that insane here. Maybe it's a bit insane, so I leave myself super weak to Ogerpon. No, I'm just going to go same again, I think. Yeah, the speed boost I think is too important. I've still not technically revealed that I'm Scarf. Is worth noting. I have technically not revealed that I'm Scarf. Or at least I don't think I have. Let me punch you. Am I content to just blow up the Ogerpon and trade that for Sandy Shocks here? Loki, I think the answer is yes. Is it? Well, no, because I'm struggling against the Chiyu next turn. Do I? That's super physically bulky on the Ogerpon. And they're definitely going to play rough me. Do I reveal Terrabug Terrablast now? I think I send it. I think I send it. I think that's worth. Terrabug Terrablast. They will delete me with Indeedee if I get this wrong. But I don't think they... I'm threatening a big time fucking... Yeah, let's follow me. Okay. Bug Blast. So I'm just trading for Ogerpon turn 1, which I think is kind of fine. Almost gets the KO, doesn't quite. Fine. Scale Shot picks it off. Now I have a speed boost. Heatwave will delete my entire existence. But I've got a speed boost and Moon now, which I think kind of ends up being very favourable for me. Who's dodging? Oh, Sandy Shocks! Oh my god! Okay, that's a crit. Fine. I was going to say, Jesus Christ. Fucking hell, Sandy Shocks, you absolute monster. Do I have any reason to do anything other than switch switch Talk and Protect? That's a really lucky dodge. That's a really lucky dodge. I think I just Protect and switch Talk, alright? Just to reset the Sandy Shocks. Maybe that was really greedy for me to do that. Maybe that was a touch greedy. Yeah, that's what. I mean, I think I'm dead to Heatwave there anyway. Well, no, I'm not dead to Heatwave. Am I dead to Heatwave? Sandy Shocks. Is it dead to Heatwave? No, it's not dead to Specs Heatwave. Just. Oh, actually, it might be. Never mind, it's a roll to die to Specs Heatwave. If they're not Terra, that is. I should make that clear. I'm just always dead when I Terra there, but I thought it was worth it to take that out. Freeze Dry, yeah. But now to the Speed Booster and all that jazz, I am faster than the bundle. Do it again. I could just Helping Hand scale the Iron Bundle. I think it's fine, right? Is that fine? That feels fine. 5-hit Helping Hand scale is a, like, guaranteed kill. I'm pretty sure 5-hit scale is... 5-hit Helping Hand scale is pretty much guaranteed. God, that Heatwave miss was so good for me. That's actually ridiculous. Yeah, I'll Helping Hand scale. Chiyu goes out. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid because now they're faster again. That was Din. That was really not very smart of me. Okay. I have no speed boost now. Yeah, that was dumb. I mean, this is still a good board state for Gallade, so I don't hate it. They haven't burned Terra, though, it's worth noting. And by worth noting, I mean, like, is the most important thing happening in the game at this current time. Yeah, this is a weird spot for me now. I guess Bug Shocks is still kind of fine here, though, right? I'm just threatening a fat Volt off the bundle. They could Protect Bundle, which would be annoying. Am I willing to call the Bundle Protect? They don't know I'm Scarf yet. They don't know I'm Scarf yet. So they could go E-Webs and be fast T-Tar. I don't think they do that. I think they're going to protect their bundle. I'm going to send it. Yeah, okay, good. Good. I'll lose torque here, but I think that's fine. Unless they miss another attack, which would be great. Glade in. I went for overheat here rather than body press, just because it means I get to pivot the torque hole if I survive, but I don't survive, so fine. But that is fine. Sand, yep. I'm in a weird spot here, though. I think I have to Electro Web, annoyingly. But if they double Icy Wind me, I'm kind of cooked. Or if they're, like, Big Blast on T-Tar. Do they Fairy Blast my Glade? If they double down my Glade, I guess they could go Icy and... I don't know. This is such a weird board state. I think I protect and web. I think this is Fairy Blast into Glade and Icy. There's Fairy. Show me Blast. There's Fairy Blast, okay. They're definitely going to Icy with Bundle, I don't think they have any reason not to. Glade protects. By God. Right. There's Icy, hits Tect. Hit Shocks. I web. Well, that's not good. That's very not good. Okay, they do Terra Blast at least, so I get that. I mean, they missed Heat Wave earlier, so I can't complain that much, but that is exceptionally not good. It's just Heat Wave dodge now. That's my one win condition, is dodging a Heat Wave. I also just don't think Psycho Cut's enough to get this T-Tire, so... Icy again. Sandy Shock is going to be faster still, because that's how it works. UEBs, not going to KO bundle. That KO'd bundle? Oh, if I'd hit... Oh, okay, it was a crit, that's why I was going to say. I still lose, unless I crit the Psycho Cut here. Like, that's the important one. It's a high crit rate move. Smack. No, okay. Fine. I mean, in theory, they could miss 5 Heat Waves in a row, but I mean, if they're sensible, they just Dark Pulse. And, like, Justin Tang is a sensible enough player that he is going to click Dark Pulse here. At this point, I'm pretty sure I've revealed that I am Scarfed. Yeah, they just Pulse. Bye-bye. That's game 2 gone. Right. Okay. Yeah, as predicted, it's the Ogerpon that's causing me issues. If they're like max bulk, which it looks like they are, because they didn't take a huge amount of damage from me in game 1, then this becomes an issue. In fact, I'm so certain they're max bulk, because they didn't KO my Sandy Shocks with an Mighty Cudgel. Yeah, Scale Shock's not even close to KOing even with a Helping Hand boost. I don't hate, like, Walking Wake in DD. That seems really weird, but I don't hate Walking Wake in DD. I don't think I need Torkoal this game. I think Torkoal is just not doing anything for me. I don't need the speed boosters on anything. Well, I guess it helps into the bundle, but it didn't actually help that much that time, did it? I don't think I ever go in DD Glade. I feel like that's just selling. I guess I could. I guess in DD Glade's not actually the worst. Maybe I do go in DD Glade. No. I'm going to go this, 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 and this. I think leave Sandy Shocks behind. Yeah, I think this makes sense. No talk on no shocks is risky, but yeah, it's on Chiyu again. You see the Psyseed. Question is, do I just send the KO this turn? Or do I Tailwind? I think I need damage on the pawn, right? That's the more important part. I think I just follow me... Do I follow me scale the pawn? I think that's kind of fine, right? So I can deal with the Chiyu later with basically everything on my team. I think I follow me and scale the pawn. They're probably going to try and play her off here, but... No, they just follow me. Okay. Could have gone Helping Hand, would have been nice, but... Now we'll see how bulky this is. Trading follow me's, that's fine. Scale. That's doing like 5. Helping Hand would be glorious there. Okay. Okay, 4 hits. That's not ideal. Turn to drop. Speed boost. They're going to Dark Pulse my... The Heat Wave. Okay. That's good. That's very good for me, I think. That's very not good. I was in such fine shape until exactly that point. Fuck. Okay. Well, now I'm in trouble, because Helping Hand's not doing anything for me here. Do I just Psychic the Ogerpon? I think I just go Psychic damage into Ogerpon and Tailwind, right? Shit me. Okay. That's so bad for me. Yeah, I don't really have a choice here, do I? That's Tailwind, so I have speed advantage, which is nice. Like, Scale Shot's not doing 0 damage, but it's also not doing much damage. I get a free Psychic. I'll do some. You know what? Good try indeed. If I'd got the 5 hit, then that would have been enough. Are they not player off? That's a crit. Not that much matters with a Specs Heat Wave coming in, but... Okay. Gee, leave him alone, man! What did the Roid Moon ever do to you? Yeah, if I don't get burned there, I have Helping Hand and Scale Shot into Pawn, and I'm looking pretty tasty. Walking Away comes in here for free. Or at least reasonably for free. They follow me here with Pawn, right? In which case, indeed, he's not doing anything. I'll Psychic them in case they don't follow me and just Hydro Steam the Chiyu, but... Fuck. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they always go for that. Hydro Steam. It maybe could have been technically optimal for me to Protect and Psychic just to preserve a little bit of damage here, but... Don't miss my NDD. Okay. That's still... Yeah, okay, Protect that. Would you stop? Are you serious? That's so unlikely to make any real difference, but, like, Jesus Christ. Burn, crit, crit, crit. Fuck. T-Tar in. Okay. Where am I aiming stuff? I still have Terror, they still have Terror. I think I just have to call where the Terror's going here. Because they're forced to swing with both. I could double Chiyu, but then I lose one of my mons potentially. Like, if they Terra Fairy knock my Wake, then I'm in trouble. I'm going to call the Terror on T-Tar. I'm going to call Terror on T-Tar and they swing at my Wake. I have to make a call here. I have to just make a call. Fuck. God damn it. Well, now we're praying for a miss, I guess. Shit, okay. I mean, depending on what they go for with Tito here, like... Miss could still save me. Come on, whiff. Just fucking whiff, dude. I've earned it. No, okay. I did get the knockoff correct. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. Not impossible. Really not impossible. Wait, actually, like, mega doable. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. There's Chi. How much am I doing to Terra Fairy Chi here? If I go Terrify. Terrify Flamethrower is my biggest damage into this. 60-odd%. Just have to hope it's enough. Sacred the T-Tar, Terrifier, Flamethrower the Chi. Pray. If it's bundle back end, then I think... Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. If this is bundle... Oh, this is maybe doable. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There's the speed booster. I think Terrifier Flamethrower probably KOs here with the Sand Chip. Come on, Walking Wake. T-Tar's dead. T-Tar's out of here. We've seen that it's AV. At the very least, we know it's not Sash. Because we saw that on... Sneeze. Come on. Flamethrower, please. Please, 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 please. Terrifier Flamethrower. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Fat Life will Wake. Sacred Sword KOs T-Tar. Crit. Oh, great, great. Now I get the crit. Was that my last turn of Tailwind, or do I have one more turn? If I have one more turn, it's guaranteed. If I don't, then... I can't remember. I've not been keeping track because I'm silly. Come on. It's the end of Tailwind. No more side terrain. I mean, he clicks Heatwave here, right? He has to click Heatwave. That was Snarl. Either way, he's clicking a spread move. So I Protect Gallade. I Protect Gallade. If Terrifier, Lifeorb, Flamethrower isn't enough to KO Chi-Yu, then I have to hope that Sand is, because we've got, what, 3 more turns of Sand? Yeah. So this gives me outs with, like, double protects and stuff like that as well. I always Protect here, and I Terrifier, Flamethrower the Chi-Yu. Come on. Come on, Walking Wake. Come on. Come on, Walking Wake. Terrifier, Lifeorb, Flamethrower. Come on. Give me the good news. Let's go! Oh! Jesus Christ, man. Oh, what a set, dude. What a set. Jesus Christ. Walking Wake, baby. You know, after saying that Indeedee Walking Wake were the least useful pieces in that matchup, they were actually both really fucking clutch there. I mean, I guess Indeedee didn't do that much, but the threat of Follow Me kept Justin honest. Oh! God, that was a good set of draft to finish it off. Most stacked VGC draft league ever. I'm top 2 and I'm not second, baby. Let's go. Woo! I'll give you some better analysis once I've cooled down a little bit. That was fucking stressful, dude. Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone who does not fall into those two categories, I am your MDBL champion. It has been 10 weeks of very tough battles, but I did it. I got there. It was a hell of a set to finish it on, honestly. Like, game 2 and 3 were crazy. Game 2, Heatwave miss into Electroweb miss into Electroweb crit. Game 3, we got Heatwave burn into Heatwave crit into Cudgel crit. Or, well, other order, but same thing. I mean, not that the crits really mattered, but yeah, bonkers set. Really bonkers set. Game 1, I think I did a good job of scouting for... Well, not actively scouting, but I did a good job of, like, finding out and playing around items, moves, that kind of stuff. I'm a little surprised it wasn't Unburden on Sneasler. But, editing bwenty here. First of all, I just watched that Game 3 back. How did I win from there? I played out of my mind in Game 3. That was so sick. After the burn? Man, I played good. Anyway. The reason I'm here is to say, yeah, the Sneasler actually was unburdened. Some of you may have spotted that actually I got my speed orders a bit confused because I already had a scale shot boost and I had Sun up, so I was fast and unburdened Sneasler to get Tailwind up in game 1 anyway. That does mean that Scarf Sandy Shocks was actually very relevant in the end game when I had Tailwind up, but Sneasler had Unburden active, because it meant that Sandy Shocks still outsped Sneasler. Yeah, just jumping in to say, I saw it incorrectly in the middle of the battle. Turns out Sneasler was unburdened, but I was faster anyway because I had a bunch of stuff up. Cool. As soon as I got that Tailwind up, I was suddenly in a much stronger spot, because my Gallade was just outspeeding the Ogerpon. It was interesting to see no Psychic Seed. I suspect the last move on that Sneasler was Fake Out, based on the fact that they didn't bring it with their own Indeedee. Maybe not. Maybe they didn't want to deal with my Indeedee as well. It could have just been Protect. But yeah, Taunt Sneasler was a little bit irritating, but given that I didn't go for the Tailwind on turn 1 with Roaring Moon, it ended up being fine. I think my biggest issue that set was I didn't adapt well enough in game 2. I mean, shocker, the game I lost was the one where I didn't do the thing I should have done. But we established in game 1 that Ogerpon was like bulky. I wouldn't be surprised if that was max Impish again. So the Shocks Moonly just didn't have enough damage into that, and it's threatening Cudgel into Shocks. It's threatening Play Rough into Moon, potentially. And I had Bug Blast, but as we saw, that wasn't quite enough to actually get the KO. So I think I should have led Indeedee Shocks or Torkoal Shocks so that I had Helping Hand Bug Blast available. Well, that leaves me a bit weak to Chi-Yu. Or I should have led Indeedee and Roaring Moon. Because Indeedee Roaring Moon also means that I can get around the Sneasler immediately. Like, I can just follow me scale. I don't even need to follow me, do I? I can Terra Psychic or follow me, one of the two, and just scale shot the Sneasler for a KO immediately. So I should have adapted slightly better to that. I think my play in game 3 of going for the just pure fast mode, leaving Torkoal behind, was 100% the right play, because Torkoal was getting my Sun up, but wasn't doing anything other than that. Like, it wasn't ever in position to take out the Chi-Yu. So I think leaving that behind and just giving up the weather control was absolutely correct, because I can deal with the rest of his mons anyway. I'm not running any sashes or anything that I need it for, and because he's not unburdened on Sneasler, that kind of reduces the need for me to go for the super fast speed booster stuff, because with the exception of Bundle, I'm faster than all this stuff anyway, just regularly. And because I've got double Terra Fire and 3 things that one-shot a bundle. I guess not 3 indeed does one-shot bundle, but my back end will both Terra Fire and one-shot bundle. So I'm not as worried about that, especially if I've got Tailwind up, because now, like, Walking Wake outspeeds, for example. So I think getting that Tailwind up in the endgame, especially establishing that he didn't have many Protects on his team. We saw Chi-Yu didn't have Protect, we saw Tito was Assault Vest, so that's not got Protect. So that meant the Tailwind mode was a little bit more potent, just because I can capitalize on those turns much more aggressively. So I think even with the burn, recognizing, okay, I'm not getting KO on Ogerpon anymore, let's just get my Tailwind up now, and then try and capitalize on that, ended up being fine. And yeah, bringing the back end to abuse that as hard as possible was good. We saw their Terrify Walking Wake just took the game home. Life Orb, Terrify Flamethrower was enough to do all the damage it needed to. And I had a really nice pin in the endgame there as well, as soon as I had Gallade Walking Wake in front of the Chi-Yu T-Tar, because neither of them had Protect, and they'd already burned their Terra. That was also a good call the turn before that they were going to go after my Walking Wake, right? Because that gives me an extra... I felt like they've seen Protect on my Gallade. I didn't have Protect on Walking Wake in the previous game we played. Like, last time we played, I was Assault Vest on Wake. And I've got a somewhat obvious Terra Fire on Gallade, for example, to get around Terra Fairy, Terra Blast. So I think making that call correct was big. And then from there, like I said, I had a bit of a pin, because if I just go Sacred Terrifier Flamethrower into Chi-Yu, I was pretty sure I was going to get the Chi-Yu with the Terrifier Flamethrower. But basically, given that I am getting the Chi-Yu with Terrifier Flamethrower, I'm KOing 2 of their Pokemon, because Iron Bundle can't switch it on either slot. I think my opponent was hoping I'd go for, like, if they thought I was going for, like, Hydro Steam into Chi-Yu, for example. If I go, like, Sacred Sword, T-Tar, Hydro Steam, Chi-Yu, and you get bundling on that, then I lose. So it makes sense to go for that play, but either way, with the play that I went for, I get 2 KOs on 2 of their Pokemon, and then none of their 3 can win that 2v1 when I've got my Terra available. We saw what happens if they sack Bundle T-Tar, Chi-Yu doesn't win the endgame, so they Terrify Flamethrower, I've got Protect to stall out for Sand Turns for a bit of extra damage as well. And then if they sack Bundle Chi-Yu, then obviously T-Tar in the endgame does not win that, because they just get Sacred Sword and die. And then if they sack Chi-Yu T-Tar, then Bundle comes in, but because I'm Terra Fire on the Walking Wake, they're going to have Hydro Pump, I'm pretty sure. Given their Terra Water, I'm fairly certain they're going to be Hydro Pump on that. But even if they Hydro Pump that, I'm threatening a KO with both, and they can't KO both in one turn. So that was a nice pin that I had set up at the end there. And again, that's because I'd scouted items and I knew what I was hitting into, it became very safe for me to do that. And that was in spite of me getting the call wrong on the previous turn as well, which obviously didn't help. I guess I got the call half right. I called where they were swinging, but I didn't call where their terror was going. Oh, good set to end it. I think Justin's prep was very interesting. He played a lot of stuff that I wasn't expecting him to play, like the Sash Sneasler, which I don't know if is necessarily the right choice, because you've got to be so careful with your T-Tar if you're doing that. The bulky Ogerpon, I'm assuming it was Ockerberry this time because it wasn't Citrus. The bulky Ogerpon was very annoying. That was correct. He identified correctly in game 2 that the Sandy Shock stuff just kind of got taken down by Ogerpon. Specs Chew just does crazy damage. That's a thing that's true about Specs Chew. I do wonder if there was... Yeah, there's no Life Orb, unless it was Life Orb in DD, because the Sash was on Sneasler. Probably Scarf in DD, I'd guess. But yeah, the Specs Chew was just doing fat damage. If it was Life Orb, I think I would have actually been more scared of it, mind you. But I guess it could also be a case of he wanted Dark Pulse, wanted Heat Wave, wanted Overheat, and wanted Terra Fairy, Terra Blast, and going Specs on that, I think, makes sense. Yeah, the lack of Protect came back to bite him. The rest of the team was all pretty standard stuff. Bundle, I do want... It's probably Icy Freeze Dry, Hydro Pump, Protect, would be my guess. Indeedee, I'm guessing Scarf. We didn't actually see the Indeedee at any point. I think my prep was good, though. The Scale Shot stuff on Roaring Moon ended up coming into play quite a bit. Again, because we saw that Justin wasn't running speed boosting on his Sneasler, for example, or like Scarf Chiyu. The Scale Shot gets a lot of value there suddenly. Oh, and Ironhead as well. Ironhead as the second move was very valuable because last time we played, he was Terra Fairy on everything. Like, everything was Terra Fairy. He had his Ogerpon, which has to be Terra Grass, and then he was Terra Fairy on 4 of his Mons besides that. I mean, he was same this time, right? He had 3 Terra Fairies, it was just the bundle changed. But yeah, having Ironhead as the second move there was really valuable. We saw in game 1 just being able to clock the Chiyu after it had taken a bit of chip damage. I think the Torkoal set was correct. I think leaving Torkoal and Sandy Shocks behind in game 3 was also correct, but I think the Torkoal set was correct. I was on, I think I mentioned this briefly in the intro, I was on Flare Blitz for a bit to get around Sneasler, but that wouldn't have made any difference because it wasn't Psychic Seed. I think the theory with Torkoal was there, it just wasn't doing enough for the game plan that I was going for. Indeed, I think Psychic Seed ended up being better than Colberry there. Again, I mean, obviously it didn't get hit by any dark moves, so it's kind of easy to say in hindsight, but again, in the situation we saw with the Chiyu, if they can't really lock in Dark Pulse. I feel like they kind of have to lock in Heat Wave. I guess they could have locked in Dark Pulse. It might have been a little bit annoying with the Wake in the back, but they probably just wanted the spread damage more than anything else. So if they'd locked Dark Pulse, it would have had a couple of rolls to kill my Indeedee, but I think Psychic Seed ended up working out fine there. The Sandy Shock set was fun. I didn't get to do the funny thing where I just switched in Torkoal, outspeed them immediately and KO their Iron Bundle, because he didn't lead Iron Bundle in any of the games. And I think maybe bringing Sandy Shocks to game 2 after I'd already kind of forced the Ogerpon game plan was not the correct call, but still, Scarf Sandy Shocks did reasonably well. It was a bit annoying the Bug Blast didn't KO even with the Beads of Ruin, but I guess that's what happens with Fat Ogerpon. Life Orb Walking Weight felt super good. Like, I had Assault Vest last time, just wasn't doing enough damage, and the Assault Vest didn't really help me, so that was, I think, always correct. And the Glade set, I was kind of saying this in prep when I was practicing, but Glade, I could have run Life Orb on that instead or something, or like an offensive item, but into this matchup, if I'm hitting things super effectively, they're dying, and if I'm not hitting them super effectively, I'm two-shotting them. And damage modifiers or items don't really change that. It changes neutral hits from doing 60 to 80, which is like, it's a two-shot or it's a two-shot, and if it's super effective, it's a one-shot. So that didn't really make too much difference. I think the Room Service was still a nice option to have. But yeah, that's about it, I think. Again, like I said, happy with my prep. I'm happy with my prep for pretty much all of this run, to be honest, with the exception of week 8, but that's because I didn't really do that much prep. There's a lesson there, I think, which is that when you don't do prep, you do slightly worse. Yeah, speaking of prep, I haven't actually really mentioned him that much, if at all, but massive shoutouts to Ben Kiriakou, who has been working as my front office with me for the entirety of this tournament. I've also been working as his front office because coincidentally he was running he was participating in the Caster Cup, which is like a caster-based draft league, which coincidentally also finished, like, he played his finals 2 days ago and won that. So it was quite fun that we were testing partners and both won our respective leagues. So I guess it's a broken pairing. But yeah, big thanks to Ben for all the help, because I would not have been able to do it without a prep partner, and some of his ideas were good. Nobody tell him I said that. Big thanks to Mishi, Michael DeBesta, for putting the league together. Very cool to have a bit of a last hurrah with Scarlet and Violet. And in fact, this has now ended at a perfect time, because this will be going out 3 days before Champions release. Speaking of, I will be, once Champions is out, of course, streaming that. So if you want to keep up with some Champions content, then go follow me on Twitch. Link to that will be in the description. And also sub here, I'll be doing Champions. I plan on doing like a day 1 or day 2 kind of in-depth review of Champions, not just what Pokemon are in, what strategies are good, but also like the monetization, how it operates, how well you can do free-to-play, that kind of stuff. I'm planning on doing like a 10-hour stream on the day it releases. So again, keep your eyes peeled for that. Follow me on Twitch, sub here if you want to keep up with Champion stuff. Yeah, like I said, this was a very fun way to end Scarlet and Violet, or at least end Scarlet and Violet content. I've got 2 more Reg-Eye regionals coming up that I signed up for because I really hope that at least one of them will be Champions. So I've got to play 2 more Reg-Eye tournaments. So I guess I'm not fully done with Scarlet and Violet. But the end of Scarlet and Violet content, at least, this was a good draft league to finish in. Hopefully you all had as much fun as I did. Hopefully you all enjoyed all the games. If you did enjoy this one, as always, please do leave a like on the video. And subscribe to the channel. I think I've said that already, but more call to actions. I'm a real content creator. I'll yell at you until you subscribe. Also, let me know if you'd be interested in... I kind of want to do a draft guide kind of video. Like a half recap MDBL, half here's tips on how you can get better at draft kind of thing, which I think could be fun. I strongly recommend everyone plays draft leagues. I fucking love draft leagues so much. It's really, really fun. But there's like a certain skill set to it that you don't get from just playing VGC, so it could be fun to do a kind of combination draft guide / MDBL recap. Because that gives me like actual examples of the stuff that I'm talking about. So if you're interested in that, then I guess let me know in the comments. Yeah, GG's to Justin, GG's to everyone who played. Thank you for a fun league. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you will stick around for more content now that MDBL is finished. And if you do, then I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.